The session you're going to do is about beach safety and risk assessment. So here are the instructions. So your learning outcome will be inner city surf lessons, what ifs, and the beginnings of the principles of a risk assessment. So what I'd like you to do first is read the newspaper article on the next page. So here's the newspaper article, Bournemouth on Sea Gazette. Courage of lifeboat crew saves lives in savage seas. So if you could read this and then go on to answer these questions. So all the answers to these questions are in the text. So why is it silly for the young man and a friend to go in and try and rescue the girl in the water? And the answers are in the text. What is the phone number that you should dial if you see someone in danger in the water? You should know this one, it's in the text. Why is it important to say where you are and what time you saw the emergency? What are the tide currents going to do to the person in the water? So tide currents and rip currents that we talked about in the last session. What are the dangers of the rocks? Find out what the charity RNLI is, Royal National Lifeboat Institution. So this one here we're going to look at what if, consequences, what might happen, and solutions, what to do to prevent something bad happening. So what if it's a person walking, looking cold, on the cliff? For example, I think he's going for a walk on his own in the evening. What could happen if he could slip is that he could slip and hurt his ankle. No one knows where he is, so no one could rescue him. It will soon be dark and cold. He may be ill or even die as a result of hypothermia, which is really cold. Solutions, what to do to prevent something bad happening. So your answer, for example, on this one would be wear appropriate clothing, wear appropriate footwear, let someone know that you've gone for a walk, and let someone know when you're expected to be back. So if you're not back in time, they'll call the emergency services, or they can go and have a look for you so they know where you are. Okay, so these next ones you've got to do yourself. So first one here, go on, I dare you, call 999 and say a boat's in trouble. So in this box you need to put your consequences, what might happen. So calling out distress when there's not a distress, what might happen, and how you'd stop it. The next one, playing on a cliff, what might happen and how you'd stop it. This one looks like someone that's been taken out in a rip current. We know about rip currents because we talked about it last week. So in this box we need to put what might happen and how to stop it. And how to stop it, you may have to refer back to your lesson last week. This one here, we've talked about tides. We did a lot about tides. Last term. So here they are, caught on a tide. Tide's coming in. They're thinking, do I swim for it? Will I make it and be able to climb on the cliff? So what if? How would I stop that happening? Okay, so the second part is a beach risk assessment.
10 teenagers are about to embark on a very tough challenge in Cornwall.
Done really well to get here, really well. We interviewed lots and lots of people to come down and do this. But now you're here, just enjoy it. It's going to be a really busy week, but it should be really good fun.
They don't know it yet, but over the next 5 days, they'll be training to be lifeguards and running the Summer Leas Beach in View. All the teenagers come from central London. Living in the city means you're more likely to get into difficulties at the coast. Every year, over 9,000 children from all over the UK are rescued from the sea. Around 60 lose their lives.
Basically, the wetsuits work by being really tight, all right?
It's a new experience for everyone involved. They'll be spending hours in the water, and it's going to be cold, so they've got to be kitted out properly.
And your body temperature warms up the water, all right, and that's how you stay warm in a wetsuit.
I'm getting I'm getting a bit nervous about going in the water. It's gonna be apparently it's gonna be really cold. But at the end of the week, I hope to have learned how to surf, how to water ski, and just have fun in it, and just be in a different environment and still have a good time.
I think it's going to be really fun and like entertaining, but as well as that, it's going to be serious and you've got to be careful because like the sea is pretty dangerous.
Come on, Dexter, show us what you're made of.
Oh, he's not even in the water yet.
Oh!
Go on, Dex.
See, ladies, obviously they've just hit the cold water now. We've just showed what their swimming ability is, and we're happy. Obviously, we have a huge amount of water around the UK, and it's very important to get across the message how important it is to be able to swim and to be able to keep yourself afloat and survival in the water. We're going to have a little bit of a play in the surf and in the white water. You see where this red and yellow flag is? We're going to stay within that area of the 2 red and yellow flags at all times.
There are lots of other safety markers about. Pretty much every beach has signs, and they're the first things you need to check out when you're down at the sea.
Everybody happy?
Yeah.
Nice.
The sea is one of the most dangerous environments you'll ever come across. Tides, currents, and deep water can make it deadly. The tide comes in and out twice a day. Rip currents are far less predictable. Rips are moving bodies of water which can be powerful enough to pull you off your feet and out to sea. Another day, another beach. Just 2 days left until the group have to be lifeguards for real. So they're getting to grips with board skills, which are essential for rescues, and the best way to do it is to learn to surf.
Twist the hips in, back, good. Surfing has been hard, but I've managed to stand up. I just keep on dropping. That's the annoying bit.
I've just been freaked out about how strong the current is, how big the waves can get without you noticing, and how far the tide can come in without you noticing as well.
I'm gonna ride the waves. The beach is like so nice, and like catching the waves is fun. But you have to realise like there's like a dark side to everything.
I think lifeguards must have really good patience, because I would get annoyed with people at times if they kept on doing something you told them over and over again, stop. I think that they're quite brave, because to put their life on the line to be saving others.
In the summer, lifeguards patrol some of the UK's busiest beaches.
Swimmers and bodyboarders, always between the red and yellow flags.
They're experts in water safety. It's their job to prevent accidents from happening.
Listen to the lifeguards, for one. We don't whistle at you for no reason. We don't do it for our fun. We do it for your own safety. Stay between the flags at all times, red and yellow flags, and never swim in flat water where you think it's safe, where it probably isn't.
People being swept out to sea on inflatables and bodyboards is a major problem for lifeguards. It can happen so quickly that before you know it, you're a long way offshore. As well as preventing accidents, it's essential lifeguards have the confidence and skills to run into the sea and rescue a person in trouble. And after yesterday's surf lessons, the group are now confident on one of the lifeguards' most important pieces of kit, the rescue board. It's hard work pulling people out of the sea, so they also use rescue tubes to help with the job.
Keep your patient, okay? Turn your back to the wave. Cover them out.
Don't wanna sound full of myself a rule, but you ain't looking at my world.
It's pretty tough actually. You have to swim out there, keeping in mind you've got this in your back to sort of dredge you back when the waves come. And then once you click this on, which is kind of tricky, you have to swim all the way back in. The main thing is just to protect your casualty. Ask if she's swallowed or inhaled any seawater.
Have you swallowed or inhaled any seawater? It's pretty amazing going out there and saying kind of and rescuing someone and making sure they're okay and safe. It's hard work here, but you get great pleasure I think knowing that they're all right at the end.
And if the worst happens, every lifeguard is trained in first aid and resuscitation.
If that was a real life situation, that could be a difference between Daryl living and Daryl dying.
Every lifeguard has to pass several exams before they can take control of the beach. It's no different for our students.
Thank you.
It's the end of a long day and everyone is relaxing at a beachside barbie. But the trainee lifeguards still have to be on the ball, as the beach can be even more dangerous at night, especially after a party. Alcohol, drugs and water just don't mix. They have a massive effect on how you cope with the water and also your ability to think straight. More than 1 in 10 of the incidents the RNLI deal with are alcohol related.
Where everyone's happy about this trip, but still, it's gone over too fast. It's gone quick. It's just gone. Days are just flowing past.
Hands hurt, feet hurt, the face hurts.
I think, that they think I'm the weakest swimmer, but I'm going to prove them wrong because I'm going to pass the test. I'm going to get my certificate.
Okay guys, listen up. This is it basically. We've got the wet exam now. You've all passed your theory yesterday, so this is the final bit you've got to do. It takes about an hour and a half. You all get the same qualification. The 5 of you are going to be running the beach this morning. Those 5 are Daryl as head lifeguard, Reese, Fumi, Ali and Jenna. Alright?
Today's the day Summerlees Beach gets a new lifeguard crew. Everyone has been given a role, and with Daryl as head lifeguard, they've just got to make sure they're prepared, as anything can happen. Throughout their watch, the trainee lifeguards will have to spot and deal with rescue scenarios. The instructors have made sure the group's new skills will be put to the test with a number of mock incidents.
I'm watching over everyone. I've got another lifeguard out there on a rescue board who's overseeing everything. As you can see, there's not much action actually in the sea. Sorry. Reese! Right then, my name's Daryl, I'm an RNLI lifeguard. I just need to ask you a few quick questions.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's your name?
David.
David. Right then, is there anyone else out there with you?
No, it's on my own.
You're by yourself, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you take any bangs to the head?
No.
So
Thanks, Dad.
no knocks to the head?
Yeah.
Did you swallow any water?
Just a little bit of water.
Swallowed a bit of water. Is it still in there?
No, I think I've
just got it out.
All the way out.
Are you on any medication or drugs?
No.
No drugs, no medication. Were you with anyone else today?
Yeah, they're on the beach.
They're on the beach?
Yeah.
Right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'll take you up to the hut. You're going to fill out a form, and then I'll escort you back to who you're with.
Okay, that's right? Great. Yeah, thanks very much.
Never swim alone. Well, he was swimming too far right, and then he went too far to the left, and then he ended up getting himself into trouble. It's really hard, especially when you're trying to swim with him, holding him tightly as well.
It's quite scary as well. Because
you're risking your life as well. So.
Yeah. This is just like a mock situation, and it was hard to do it now. And in real life, it must be even harder and scarier, just doing it.
Lifeguards deal with all sorts of incidents. Giving people first aid is one of their many jobs. They'll treat anything from nosebleeds to broken backs.
We're just here to patrol the beach, and keep an eye, make sure that no one's getting into too much trouble. It's quite strange being this much control of something this big, and it's quite hard as well, because you've got to keep control of everything. You have to keep your eyes everywhere.
Yeah, I'm okay. No, I'm on my own.
Taking any medication?
No.
Have you been drinking at all?
No.
Taking any drugs?
No. Did you swallow any water when you're out there?
A little bit, yeah.
Are you with anyone else on the beach?
Yeah, I did have some friends further out the beach.
There's some friends on the beach. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We'll take you up to the lifeguard hut. We'll fill out a form, make sure you're okay, give you the once over, and then we'll take you down.
Okay.
That's your friends. I'll just give you a hand. Give him a hand up. You take him to the...
It's now time to hand back the beach to the regular lifeguards.
Too far to left, so we've had to call them back in. Had to deal with a nosebleed as well. But right now, I can't actually see any bathers in the sea, so we're just actually keeping watch now, and there's not much going on. So
they've done extremely well today. They've worked on a few prompts, but most of the thing they've done today is on their own merit. Knew where to put the flags. They've moved the boards. Incidents arose and they dealt with it. All credit to them. In a week's, 4 days of training, which was really 3 days really. Never been on paddle boards before, never surfed before. They've done extremely well.
I feel like I've come a long way from the week because we've done so much in a short space of time, like 4 days. And I didn't know nothing about the flags and the boards and the whistle and going out into sea. So we've done a lot.
It's been gone quick, but it's been good.
It's been a tough week. The students are mentally and physically drained, but they've all got through their exams. The whole group are now qualified lifesavers, the first step on the path to being an RNLI lifeguard.
My thoughts of the beach have changed. Like before, I used to think, the beach is just a place that you go there to have fun. But like on the beach, there's like hidden dangers that you wouldn't really notice. Like I would never have noticed unless I come down here and experienced them firsthand.
The week's been really good. It's helped us with all our water skills, life rescue and stuff like that.
The most important thing I think I've learned here is rescuing people and the importance of beach safety.
It's important to stay safe on the beach. There's a lot to take in, but the easiest way to remember it all is flags. Find the red and yellow flags and swim between them. Look at the safety signs. Ask a lifeguard for advice. Get a friend to swim with you. Stick your hands in the air and shout if you get into difficulty.
It's a task. So you're planning a trip to the seaside with a group of 8 of your friends, 2 of whom can't swim. Complete the risk assessment table below to show how bad the risks are. This is how likely they are on a scale of 1 to 5. So 1 is won't happen, 5 is very likely to happen, and how bad they are if they do happen on a scale of 1 to 5. So 1 is it's okay, it's not too bad, you can fix it. 5 is it's very bad. Add the 2 together to see how risky the activity is. Finally, suggest some solutions to make the hazards that you've thought about less risky. A hazard is something that can be dangerous. A risk has size. Something can be low risk if it's extremely unlikely to happen, or moderate to high risk if it's likely to happen. But the consequences, the result of it happening, is only slightly dangerous. Think about sunburn. For most people, the pain's mild, but it's very likely to happen and could lead to cancer. So sunbathing without sunscreen is very high risk. So here's the table. This is the work I'd like you to do. I've done the first one for you. So for example, one of your friends cuts his foot open on broken glass and bottle of the sand. How bad could the danger be? If it's cut really badly, it could be a 4 and he needs first aid quickly. How likely is this danger likely to happen? It's quite low. So fortunately, there are not many broken bottles on the beach and they're more likely to see them. So the risk level is, you add them 2 together, 4 plus 2, 6. So the risk level for cutting the foot open and broken glass at the bottom of the sand is 6. What can we do to make the activity less risky, sometimes called control? So always put bottles and cans in the bin, wear beach shoes, check for broken bottles and rubbish on the beach. So I'd like you to go through these next 3. Your friend gets sunburn. How bad, how risky is that? How likely is it the danger may happen? What's the risk level? What do you do to make it less risky? You get caught in a rip current. We talked about rip currents last week. How bad is the danger? How likely is it to happen? What's the risk level? What do you do to make the activity less risky? So the answer on that would be to look back to last week, how to avoid a rip current, and this week, where would you swim or surf that you're safe on the beach. You slip on the rocks, break your ankle. How bad could the danger of this hazard be? 1 to 5, the ankle's broken. How likely is it likely to happen? Pop it in there, add them together, get your risk level. What do you do to make the activity less risky? Okay, fill those in, submit it, and we'll have a look at it. Thanks very much. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed this task and looking at the video. See you again soon.